2025 was a really great year for LEGO themes, especially all of the new ones that were introduced as well as the old. LEGO actually released in 2025 just over 1,000 sets total, so there was a lot of competition this year. But for me personally, my favorite LEGO theme of 2025 was the LEGO One Piece theme. Let me give you a couple reasons, okay? First off, it is my favorite anime TV show of all time. Now, that is really hard to try and narrow down. There's a lot of incredible anime out there, and I struggled, okay? But a couple years ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to make One Piece my number one anime. I'm going to stick with it. It was always in my top three. It would shift around a little bit. Naruto was in there too, just going around. I'm like, you know what? I needed to have a definitive. So I decided One Piece is my favorite show of all time. And then they came out with a really cool live action remake through Netflix of that series. And crazy enough, then all of a sudden Lego decided, hey Netflix, let's make some sets based off of the remake of One Piece. So the only thing that kind of worried me at first was mostly the actual minifigures. I was a little scared that they wouldn't look the greatest because they're based off of the live action and not the anime. It would have been really cool, I think, to have One Piece anime, but I understand how licensing works and all that stuff, and that the only way we were ever going to get One Piece in Lego was through the Netflix live action remake. So a shout out to Netflix. I love you guys. Thank you for doing what you did. You guys are incredible. We're going to get more sets, I believe, in 2026 of One Piece 2, which is crazy. So this is so good. We should be getting One Piece sets going forward as long as they keep making the show. If they cancel the live action, unfortunately, we don't get new sets, which is very, very unfortunate. Hopefully, they continue it for many, many seasons. I'm not sure how long it'll go for, but yeah, hopefully it does go for quite some time. So, out of all the sets that were released, my favorite set, and I was kind of debating, I was like going back and forth. I really like the Going Merry. I don't necessarily care for the design too much. I did a review on the set, and there was a couple little things that they made in the ship that I just didn't care for too much. But overall, I do really love the design. The Barati or Barati floating restaurant set is really cool as well. That was the big collector's edition set. I do like that one. But honestly, the sleeper set that I really enjoyed, and I believe it's $100 Canadian or like $70 American, I think was the cost of the set. It's the Battle at Arlong Park. This set is so cool, mainly for the fact that it is actually a play piece. You can play with it. So the whole function, the play feature of this set is that it crumbles and falls apart. So the whole scene, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the show, you can just try and skip through this part here, but it makes more sense if I explain it. A battle at Arlong Park goes down. Luffy is fighting Arlong, and they have this huge fight through the building tower, right, of Arlong's parks. And so Luffy ends up destroying the building using Arlong's body. And it's a really crazy, awesome scene. The animation's great, as well as the live action remake was really cool too. But this set, if you use Luffy, you push down on the top of the building and it explodes. It literally explodes and the pieces stay together. They don't fall apart. You don't have to do a lot of like rebuilding. They really naturally come together and it's so cool. So that's why I really like the set, as well as the minifigures are so sweet, okay? Those fishmen are crazy. It makes me wonder going forward in the future what more of the figures will start to look like. But the fishmen, they did such a good job. I love the molds. I love the way they look. They look so, so, so good. Like, I just can't believe it. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? Like, how did they make them perfect? So, yeah, out of all the One Piece sets, Battle at Arlong Park is my absolute favorite, hands down. I'm going to give you guys, though, one more reason as to why the One Piece Lego theme specifically was my favorite for the year. Aside that it's my favorite TV show ever, anime-wise, even though it's a live action. I love the show. The sets and the characters are fantastic. For the reason that they are pirates, okay? I love pirates. I've always loved the Lego pirate theme as well, right? Pirates of the Caribbean is incredible. The Knights Castle stuff is cool, kind of mixing in some of that pirate era stuff too. But specifically with Lego One Piece, I kind of forget because One Piece is such a big show and there's so many different characters that I forget. Like, it's literally a pirate TV show. So we are getting pirate ships, we're getting everything pirate-esque in Lego form, and it's so good. It's so good. We're getting maps, we're getting different minifigure types that have a really big like pirate feel, which are really cool. Different set pieces. We have a couple ships. We have different builds inside of the ships that are really cool. In the One Piece world, there's a lot of Easter eggs, specifically in the expensive collector's edition Barity floating restaurant. There's tons of little Easter eggs. They even used I'm gonna get the name wrong right now, but the telephone snails, the corresponders, they even put those in the sets, which is so, so cool. So those are some nice little like printed and specific mold pieces for Lego One Piece. So there's a lot of variety coming out of the One Piece sets. I'm really happy with what they started with. The only thing that I didn't really care about too much was the brickheads. I don't really care about too much for brickheads. People like them, that's totally fine. If you collect them, great, not too bad. I personally, I don't. I just don't like them. They don't do anything for me. I was never like a Funko Pop or a bobblehead or action figure fan. So for me, the brickheads is just that, but in Lego form. So I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. It doesn't do anything for me. I like specifically the minifigures, and I might have to double back quickly. Is that are minifigures action figures? Maybe I do like action figures. So let's not hold everything I say here to 100% truth. Sometimes I do change my mind a little bit. But yeah, One Piece, Lego One Piece 2025 was an incredible year. So, guys, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. What was your favorite Lego theme of this year? Was it something a little bit more simple, maybe like Star Wars? Was it Lego City? We had Pirates of the Caribbean sets come out, some Willy Wonka, some Simpsons that came back. So like there is a lot of themes that did really well and are really cool. So I wouldn't doubt that you have a different theme. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Comment that down below. That is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in another one very soon. Peace out, y'all.